We don't rise to our goals. We actually fall to our systems. Like that's what we default to. Okay. And we've all tried to do better at something, right? Whether we try to eat better or be a better partner in our relationship, be a better parent, be a better entrepreneur or athlete or whatever it is that you do. Right? We all try to get better at something. And we all have an area that we struggle in, right? And what we'll find is the reason why, the reason why we struggle is because we haven't built that momentum. See, now momentum is the thing that momentum goes beyond just motivation. Momentum is what makes things that's hard now actually easier later down the line. Okay? It actually makes it easier. Things that's hard now gets easier and easier and easier the more down the line we go. It may seem hard today, but when you build that momentum, that's not the case. Okay? Uh, People think it's motivation. Like people think even to start building momentum that it starts with motivation, and that's where everybody gets it wrong. See, motivation motivation lies to you, and it tells you that if you just feel excited, that we can get the job done. But what happens? That excitement wears off, and when the excitement wears off, so does the results. And then you're right back to square one, back in that same pattern. How? Because you didn't build momentum. Momentum fades away. Motivation fades away. Momentum is what momentum is what puts you in a position to where you're not starting and stopping over again, over and over and over and over again and over again. See, when you find that's the case, and it's something that you've been back and forth with and inconsistent with, it's because you haven't established momentum. You haven't established a system that could enable you to build momentum. Okay. So that's what we're going to get into. Now, I would say the first area to build momentum in your life. And like I say, because this this could really transform your life for the better in a way that you would like. Like just think of whatever areas in your life you would like to improve. I believe when you build momentum, first starting with your health, making sure your health and fitness is on point, it starts to spill over in other areas, but health is the foundation. That's what happened with me, and that's what I see happen with others time and time again. So, like my story, it was a point in time where I was fat, uh, unhealthy, super broke, relationship problems, the whole nine. Once I built momentum in my health and fitness, right, I lost a whole bunch of weight, lost 86 pounds. I reversed my high blood pressure, my high cholesterol, and my pre-diabetes, all with no medicine. Okay. It wasn't until I did that, then I started having success in the stock market, right? It was in that same year where I started buying PayPal stock, which at the time did great for me over that next year or so. Uh, that's when I bought Bitcoin at $3,000 a coin. I should have bought way more. Okay, I didn't buy as much as I would have liked to. 2 years later, I think it was a year or two later, I bought Tesla, which was a great investment. So I had success in the stock market. This is also around the time where, and some of you may already know this, like I helped somebody and they grew their stock market portfolio to be worth $250,000. And they didn't start with no $250,000, okay? Like they started with way less than $250,000. We actually did a class on it. We did like a Zoom webinar class on it or whatever, but that's besides the point. Also, around this time, I find the woman who I'm with today, who I have my son with. All these areas of my life started to improve once I built momentum, starting with my health. And so, what I want to do is share with you the principles of how I built this momentum for myself, the laws, if you will, that I followed to make this happen. Okay. So with that being said, and with health being the foundation, let's get into this. Let's start with like what is being healthy? Like what is health? Okay? A very simple definition is health. Oh man, let's get a better market in this now. Oh, can y'all see that? Health defined as maintainable ease, I'm gonna capitalize ease of function. So dis-ease would be the opposite of that, right? It would be the inverse. Disease or dis-ease is prolonged behavior that prevents ease of function. So basically, if you're doing something that makes your life easier to function, it's healthy. If you're doing dysfunctional behavior, that within itself is the disease. See, a lot of times when we think about diseases, we think about um, like the blood pressure is the disease, right? Like when I had high blood pressure and I had high cholesterol, that's looked at as the disease. That's not the disease. The disease is the behavior that put me in that position in the first place. The disease was the gluttony that I was practicing. The disease was me buying that family bag of Doritos and the tub of sour cream and eating the whole thing in the grocery store parking lot before I go home to actually eat dinner. Like I didn't just consume like 2,500 calories in one sitting. And that wasn't my first nor my last meal of the day. The fact that I was doing that was the disease. The blood pressure and all that shit is really the symptom of the disease. But see, we don't think about it like that. That's not how we was programmed to think about it. And if you don't know what the real problem is, how can you solve it, right? How can we solve it if we don't know what the actual problem is? And the thing is, many people think that, it's like genetic or something like that. So that's what I say is this. How can it be genetic? Like they've done studies with identical twins. Stanford did a study, Washington State did a study. Both of these studies showed you have one twin make healthy decisions, you have the other twin make not so healthy decisions. Well, in the Stanford study, they had one twin go vegan, the other one was just omnivore. The vegan ones, healthier, like better heart, better all that when he went vegan. Omnivores, not as much. The other one that did at Washington State was more lifestyle based. The ones that had a reckless lifestyle ended up more unhealthy than the twins who had a healthy lifestyle. Right, so we go back into healthy behaviors will lead to healthiness. It's not You're not doomed to your genetics. We're talking about identical twins. We're not even talking about just because your grandma had it or your auntie had it. Identical twins with the same DNA and all of that. Different results because of their behavior, because of their decisions. So let's get that out of our mind right now. If you think you're just cursed or doomed to have whatever it is you have. And the thing is, like once you take accountability, people process that as like conviction or being punished. It's very freeing because the thing is, if you put yourself in that situation, what does that mean? That means you can get yourself out of that situation. You had the power all along. So the sooner you accept that you put yourself in a position, right? The sooner you can get yourself out of the position. Simple as that. So now that that's understood, and I didn't even check to see if y'all be able to, because I ain't got my black marker in here. So hopefully y'all can still see this light blue. So now we know it's more of a fact of the decisions that we make, essentially, right? That our behavior is basically the sum of our decisions. So imagine this. I want you to imagine yourself not even 3 years, just 6 months. Imagine yourself 6 months from now. Okay, one version of you doing what you know you need to do. Because many of us, we know what we need to do. It's just a matter of doing it, right? Why? How? Because we haven't set up the proper systems to enable that momentum. But imagine version one, do everything you need to do to be healthy. Version two, continue doing what you was doing. Both of these versions are doing what? Building momentum. So this healthy version of you is building momentum of being healthy, right? Eating healthy foods doesn't require discipline and willpower and all of that, right? And then eventually that momentum starts to spill in other areas of his life, right? As you get healthier, you start to get more fit. As you get more fit, you start to get more attractive to other people, and you start to feel more attractive. You start to feel more confident. As you start to feel more confident, you start to make decisions that you normally wouldn't make because you didn't feel like you was worthy of those type of decisions or thoughts or feelings or emotions before. You didn't think you was worthy of that person you was attracted to. You didn't think you was worthy of that promotion that you wanted or that level of business that you're trying to get to because your confidence was low. All that momentum spills out once at the foundation of health. And the complete opposite happens with version two, who continue on the path that you're on and actually starts to get worse over time. And the further along down this path you go, the harder it is to build the momentum in the opposite direction to start to go this way. Because the negative momentum makes things, it makes the bad decisions get easier over time, which inversely makes the good decisions even harder over time. So the more time you wait, the harder it is. Waiting is just another way to say that you are okay in the position that you're in now. And if you're being honest with ourselves, some of y'all know that's not true. You would do better if you could. You know you would do better. But y'all want to wait till Monday. Or wait till tomorrow. Like we gotta be honest, okay? So here's something else. This is the main thing. So I told you we went over the definition of health and disease. This is really this when I discovered this, it really changed the game for me. Really changed the game for me. This changed. I don't want to drag it out too much, but language frames how you perceive reality. Language frames how you perceive. Language. I'm telling you. If you don't get nothing else out of this, please understand this. Language, it really creates your reality. What do I mean? So even I talk about this before, we'll talk about it again, like can't. Think about the word can't. So in the context of trying to eat better or whatever, right? You may say, I can't have this cookie, right? You'll say, I can't have this cookie with, and this right here would be your curse word. You cursed yourself. What are you talking about? Curses and stuff. Just think of what you're also saying. Like when we say things, we're also saying other things simultaneously, right? So for example, if let's say your favorite show comes on tonight, but let's also say your friend invites you out to the bar that same night. So if your friend invites you out to the bar, you say yes to that. Yes, I'll go out to the bar with you. By default, you're saying no to watching your favorite show that night because you're going to miss it. Or vice versa. If you tell your friend, no, I'm not going out to the bar with you, you're saying yes to watching your favorite show. You're saying both by saying that one thing. So when you say something like, I can't have this cookie, or I can't have this donut, or I can't drink this pop, I can't, what you're saying is, I mean, I would if I could. I can't. I would. There is something like I have a desire to, but there's something restricting me from doing it. And the more you say that, the stronger that desire to break that restriction gets. And then eventually you say to yourself, yo, ain't nothing really stopping me. Like at that point, you start to just only respect the laws of physics and say, yo, ain't nothing physically stopping me from having this cookie if I want to. I want the cookie, I'm gonna eat the cookie. That's what happens when you speak like this in a way of I can't have the cookie. When in reality is you can have the cookie. You just choose not to. If you change it from saying I can't have this cookie to just saying I don't want this cookie, right? If you go from that to saying that, so empowering. So empowering. Way different. No longer cursing. And this is the truth. No, it ain't, man. But Black Amar, I really do want that cookie. Yeah, you want that cookie, but you also want to get your health right, right? So then it's a matter of what do you want more? So this is just an incomplete sentence. You can say the full sentence if you want. You would say, I don't want this cookie as bad as I want to get in shape. I don't want this cookie as bad as I want to improve my health. That would be the truth. So but we don't have to say the end of it if we don't want to, right? You can, but you don't have to. You just go, I don't want this cookie. Now that you're not simultaneously saying, I would have the cookie if I could. It's just a clear, concise message to your subconscious brain and your conscious brain saying, yo, I don't want this cookie. And by saying, I don't want this cookie, remember I said you're simultaneously saying something else. You're simultaneously saying, you're saying the same thing here. I want to be healthy, right? Or make healthy decisions or eat healthier foods, whatever the version of that statement is. When you say that, you're simultaneously saying that. But when you say this, you're simultaneously saying, I would if I could. And the thing is, the things that you're simultaneously saying, the more you say them, the stronger this part gets, right? So the more you say this, I can't have this cookie, the stronger the I would if I could starts to build up in you. Same thing over here though. The more you say and believe and think, I don't want this cookie, because not as bad as you want to be healthy, right? The more you say, I don't want this cookie, the stronger this gets. The stronger that gets. Language creates the frame of our which we perceive reality. Now let me tell you something mistake with this. Like when I sometimes I see people try to teach this, and this is where they get it all wrong. They'll say something saying like, yo, don't say can't. And then they'll just replace it with another word with the same concept. I am saying get rid of the whole concept of can't. There's no such thing. It's just a matter of you don't want to do it bad enough. There's no such thing as you can't. It's just a such thing as you don't want to bad enough. And when we think of it like that, we have to take so much more ownership over our desires and our fears and our capabilities. Okay? Very key. I'll give you another example. Of language. So let's say you start your diet and then you fall off the wagon on your diet. So you may be saying to yourself, this may be the story you're telling to yourself, I failed at my diet. Right? Curse word. Curse word. What truly happened is you gave up. Because you didn't fail. But what you did do is you found another way that doesn't work. So instead of saying I failed at my diet, you say something like, I have to find another approach to dieting. Because whatever you was doing didn't work. Say this instead. There's no finality here, right? This keeps it going. This keeps that hope alive, right? Like I have to find another approach to dieting, as opposed to I failed at it. I'm a failure. So back to the. You know what I'm saying? Like it's power in words. It's a difference, huge difference. Can't and fail are two of the biggest curse words that be taking us out the game and stopping us from having the lives that we can have. And just think, as far as we know, we get one shot at this life. And just imagine the words can't and fail that has robbed us of our potential. How many people have gone their whole life robbed of their potential just off of the concept, not the words themselves, but the concepts behind those words? There's no such thing as fail or can't. It's just a matter of You gave up, or something you didn't want that bad. I'm telling you, life changing shit. You know, even even in like Alaska. So like here, and where all the states is more closer together and whatnot, right? Like right now as I record this, I'm in Omaha, Nebraska. Yeah, because when I live in Cali, but Cali don't be getting snow. So I'll speak about here. Snow is just snow, right? If it's snowing, we say, "Oh, yo, it's snowing." Look, it's snow on the ground. In Alaska, they got like 8 different words for the type of snow because they get so much snow. It benefits them to study snow at a higher level than another place would because they deal with it so much that it becomes a bigger part of their life. So now they got it's like 6 or 8 or maybe 4, something like that. So at least 4 different types of snow and different types of snow precipitation styles, I think, and how the snow lands. They got all these different words for snow or these different modifiers and adjectives for snow. As far as we're concerned, it's just snow, white snow. You know, that's it. But the more you get involved in something, you start to create new terminology for it. So this even shows how things you just don't see if you're not really in that realm. You know what I'm saying? So I say that to say how important language can be, and then how we start to create new terminology and new language. The more involved we get in something, the more relevant it is to our life because it does make a difference. In Omaha, Nebraska, it doesn't make a difference. Whatever differences of snow Alaska sees, it makes no difference in Omaha, Nebraska. It makes all the difference in Alaska, apparently. Okay, so there's that. Now let's get into the third secret I want to share with y'all, or principle that people don't, things that people just don't get right. Remember, sticking to health being a foundation of building a momentum in the first place. Remember, like I just had up here, I had to change my approach to dieting. Like that's the more empowering way to say it, and that is something that I believe. And so my approach, which is really the truth when you think about it, is this actual principle within itself, which is this: if you take this approach, this can change. This can really change it for you. If you take your your life and your spirituality, if you take your spirituality serious, this is going to change the game for you. Eating is a sacred ceremony, and that's real. You think we just randomly started saying our grace one day? No, you go back in time, or there even some other cultures, perhaps even today, they pray before, during, and after they meal. They sacrifice foods to the gods. Right? We are like you're literally consuming things in your body. Our body is the only thing we came on this planet with. That was ours. It's the only thing. And we just do whatever to it. We just put whatever in it. We are consuming these different energies, calories, right? The calories are energy unit. We're consuming this different energy, and around all this chaotic energy, we out at the strip club eating wings and carrying over all this chaotic, crazy energy around you, and then you wonder why your life is so crazy and chaotic. Like, yo, you disrespecting your body. You're not keeping the ceremony of eating sacred. Sacred meaning to be apart from, right? And the ceremony being an event of significance. You guys don't even think eating is a significant event. Like you're literally eating life or death. With every bite that you take is like a form of prayer. Every bite you take is a form of prayer. All the bites of fruits and dark leafy greens I ate, there was forms of prayer for me healing. It was healing my body, reversing my high blood pressure, reversing my pre-diabetes, reversing my high cholesterol with every bite that I took. Prior to that, I was praying for my own downfall. Every bite of that sugary sherbet and double baconators and whatnot from Wendy's and curly fries from Arby's and the McDonald's and the late Waffle House visits and drinking all the soda and the liquor. Every bite, every swallow I had was making my health deteriorate with every bite made it worse. And then it switched to every bite making it better. When I treated it more sacred, I don't just eat around anybody no more, and I don't just eat anywhere anymore. Eating is a sacred ceremony. And once you approach it this way, it's not as easy to disrespect your body with certain calories anymore. Now, this is only going to help those who take your spirituality seriously. And for those of you who actually like believe in the Bible or even the Quran, your body's the only thing your God or Allah sent you here with. Why disrespect it? Why? How are you? How could you have the audacity to pray or ask God or Allah for anything else when the very thing He gave you, you're not even taking care of it properly? You know you're not. You can tell yourself you are, but you know you're not. Y'all saying grace over poison, saying your prayers over poison. God is great. God is good. Let us thank you for this food over some craziness on your plate. Like, we got to be for real. We got to be consistent and congruent. They say God knows your heart. People always like to say that. What's the number one cause of death? Heart disease. Anyway, listen, man. I'm only telling you what I know. So the thing is this: y'all need to actually decide to do what's in your best interest, and you need to do it now. Because waiting, like I said earlier, waiting is just another way of saying you are okay with the way things are now, with their momentum going against you, not in your best interest, so things can become, so the easier decisions can become easier over time, and the decisions you need to make become harder over time. You're saying you're okay with that if you wait. Well, y'all need to start now and build a momentum actually in your favor. And ask yourself, like, what is something you could do right now to put you in in the best position? That's what you need to do. Okay. And so, and with that being said, I'm having a no struggle fasting challenge. Okay. A 3-day no struggle fasting challenge event. Doesn't even mean that you have to fast with the fast. This is just more so about learning the benefits of it. And why am I doing this? I lost 60 pounds in 60 days. The first 3 days of those 60 days, what started my momentum was a 3-day water fast. All I did was drink water and had no food. I lost 60 pounds in 60 days, and I already told you how I reversed all my conditions, and I lost 86 pounds total. So I just want to share that experience with you guys. So the link to sign up for that challenge is actually just down there in the description. Or you just go to my name, blackandmore.com. Sign up for the challenge. Okay. General admission is, I think, $30, and the VIP is $100. Don't let a $30 or $100 investment get in the way of what you know you need to do now. You are worth investing in yourself. It's okay. It's okay. When's the last time you invested in yourself anyway? You've been investing in your destruction. You had an appetite for your own destruction. What if you started doing the opposite? So we can build momentum in the opposite direction. Okay. So anyway, I hope this helped. If this inspired any questions or any testimonies, anything like that, just put it in the comments. Other than that, appreciate y'all tuning in. Check you on the next one. Peace.